And you have said that step 1 is to load the data. Step 2 is to set the time series structure. Step 3 is to visualize the data. Visualizing the data is drawing these graphs, the visual graphs. And step 4 is now to carry out the unit to test using the augmented Dickey Fuller test. So I'll go to Stata direct. Then I will import the data. I have prepared a series for week 3. We import the first row as variable names. Click OK. The data has been imported. So we have gone to the first step, importing the data. And if you want to see the data, you click here, this icon, data editor edit. And you can see we have the date from 1st January 2025 all the way up to 10th April 2025. 100 days. We have the data for stock. We have the data for interest. And the second step was this one, to set the time series structure. You have to declare that this data is time series. So to declare that the data is time series, you come here to statistics. You go to time series. You go to setup utilities. You go to here, declare data set to be time series data. And the time variable is date. And then you click OK. So we are done with the second step. The third step, to visualize the data, come to graphics. You come to two-way graphic. Click. You create. What we want is that we want a line plot because we want to see the trend. The X variable should be date. We can see the interest rate like that. Then you click accept. Then you click OK. So the series or the graph will be generated. So that is the graph. You can see on the y-axis we have interest. On the x-axis we have the date from 1st January all the way to April. And if actually you want to edit the graph, you can edit it by right clicking, then just right click, then you start graph editor. Then you can put a title like that here. So these are interest rate trend over time. So you can see this is the trend. It is the same thing that we had here. The same way I was explaining, it is fluctuating around 5%. You can see around 5% interest rate. It is fluctuating around that area. And because it is not having a trend, we have tested and seen that it is not, that it is stationary. We have tested and seen that it is stationary. So we have said that the first step is actually the visualization. So we visualize the next. Go to graph. First of all, this one, don't have to save. Go again to graphics. So we edit the first one. In this case, instead of interest rate, let's have the stock. You accept, you click OK, and then we generate the visualization of stock. So we have stock there. We have date on this other side. We can start graphic editor and then we put a title. We can see this is stock prices, trend over time. So we can see that it has a trend. It is moving upward. And because it have a trend, we tend to think, or we tend to assume, it implies that this data is not stationary. So we can stop the graphic editor even without saving. Now we have done the third step. The third step was visualizing the data. Then we go to the last one, the unit root test. Carry out the unit root test. Go to statistics. We go to time series. We go to tests. Here, down here. And you can see we have several tests. We have the augmented Dickey Fuller test. We have the DFGL test, Phillips-Perron test. We have many of them. But the most preferred is the augmented Dickey Fuller test, the ADF. And the variable that we want to use, we can start by interest rates. Let everything remains as it is. We do not suppress the constant. We don't include the trend. Let everything remains as it is. Use zero lags at the moment. Then we click OK. And then the results are displayed. You can see, just as we had discussed earlier, the p-value here is 0.000. It means we reject the null hypothesis because the p-value is less than 0.05, and we conclude that the data is stationary. Or we compare the test statistics with critical values. 1%, remember 1% means 99% confidence level. 5% means 95% confidence level. 10% critical value means 90% confidence level. So at the test statistics is negative 9.2, which is less than negative 3, less than negative 2, and less than negative 2.5. And because of that, we reject the null hypothesis and we conclude that the series is stationary. Exactly what we had seen in our example here is exactly what I was explaining in this case. So having done the Dickey Fuller test for interest, we repeat the same. But this time around, we use the stock. Okay. And then we have the results for stock. Now, if you look at the p-value, the p-value here is greater than 0.05. And therefore, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. And we conclude that this series has a unit root. It is not stationary. And actually, if you compare the test statistics with the critical values, see that negative 0.4 is greater than 0, negative 3 is greater than negative 2, it is greater than negative 2 again. And in that case, we fail to reject the null, and we conclude that this series has a unit root. It is not stationary. In other words, this data is problematic. We cannot use the way you cannot use it the way it is. We have to transform the data. We have to transform the data until it becomes stationary. And we said we transform the data. We transform the data by what we call differencing the data. We difference the data. So how do we transform the data? So earlier on, I had showed you a code how we transform the data here. We generate another new variable. We generate a new variable which we call d stock, which is the difference of the stock. So come here. So we generate a new variable which is called d stock. Remember, the original variable is called stock. The second variable that we regenerate is called d stock, which is a difference. We put d, comma, stock, like that. And then you enter. So if you look at the data, you see now we have a new series, the difference stock. So this is the original stock, and this is the difference stock. And to difference, maybe I need to explain how do we difference. We difference by the current value minus the previous value. 102 minus 98, it is 4.5. 105 minus 102, it is 2.34. 102 minus 105, it is negative 3. That is how we difference the current value minus the previous value. That's why we don't have a value here, because we don't have the previous value in the case of the first series or the first data. So we difference by taking the current value minus the previous value. So now we have generated a different series, and then we go ahead, okay, and test. We test the stationarity in this time round using the difference series, and we click OK. So you can see here we are using Dickey Fuller test for D stock, which is our difference series. This one here. And after testing, you can see now the p-value becomes 0.000. It is less than 0.05. Simply meaning we reject the null hypothesis and we conclude that the series is stationary. Conclude that the series is stationary. So after differencing, we have moved from here to here. We have moved from being non-stationary to being stationary. From being non-stationary to being stationary. And if you compare the test statistics with critical values, you see that this test statistics is less than all the critical values. And therefore, we reject null, and we conclude that the series is stationary. So that is how we carry out the analysis.